So we work with self-insured employers and hospitals. So basically, they're responsible for the medical dollars for any of their employees. So they hire us to come in and we analyze medical claims. So these are paid medical claims, pharmacy claims, laboratory claims. So pretty much anything you would go to the doctor for and get tested for, we process those claims on the back end. So we have a web-based integrated solution that basically runs analytics on evidence-based medicine. We do some predictive modeling where we can pull out people in your population and help manage the healthcare costs. All the data parsing and manipulation was being outsourced to another company. It was currently taking them probably about 5 months or so to get a client onboarded. So the model for APH is a PEPM basis, so we charge per month per employee, and we can't start charging until it's live in the system. Okay, so that was one big issue. So they're also spending a lot of money with the outsourcer. So when I came in, basically we put together an RFP, pulled together Forrester and Gartner reviews on different data integration platforms. We did a full solution software selection, just criteria, weights, and then pulled in the top 2 contenders, and Pervasive was there. We had probably about 25 main level criteria. So one would be ease of mapping your data, financial stability of the company, industry experience. I think one of the finalists was Informatica. And their solution it really did not fit what we were doing. Pervasive definitely was the one that demonstrated they knew exactly what we were going through and how we needed to get rid of the problems in our area. It was a pretty easy choice going with Pervasive. We'd take all the quotes, do a 3-year out, do net present value back, to show the main principles, which solution we should go with. And there's no way that I was going to be able to sell and bring in some of the other solutions that we brought because the ROI wasn't there. It's almost laughable, some of the quotes that we saw from other people. So basically the project that we did, we were working with your consulting team, put together a 6-week project, which required a lot of resources on Pervasive side. Also required me and the other guy that works for me to come down to Austin to do the 2-day training. And we started working in parallel with your Pervasive consultants. We take in the claims data. So no matter where it's from, there's several hundred different types of small to large third-party administrators. So ranging from your big ones, the Blue Cross Blue Shield and Aetna, down to some just little regional TPA. So when we get this data in, one of the first things we need to do is to standardize all the data across all the different vendors. So that gets down to even a field level. Every single one of our maps, we're always doing some type of data cleansing. So when we have so many disparate systems that we're bringing in-house and we're trying to standardize them across the board in our data warehouse, every map has just a ton of things that we do to it. So there's a lot of data validation and business rules that go in up front. Can never have certain fields blank. Dates always need to be in this particular conversion format, right? And then once we take that, validate it, then we're even doing eligibility checks within our project. So the process designer that we had done by the Pervasive consultants would actually go out into our data warehouse and check to see if these people are actually eligible for the benefits we're about to process. So once that's all done, then we actually would do an output into our data warehouse, and then we'd have an output out to another vendor that we use for doing some back-end analytics for us. Before, that whole process was being done by this outsourcer that we're paying to do this, and their level of QA wasn't what it should be. So we could get down, like I mentioned earlier, 5 or 6 months to get a client up. Well, if they didn't do a certain level of validation on the data, then it would take another month, another 2. So now we've just decreased the amount of time or increased the amount of time before we get the cash flow in the door. Big problem. So that's been the nice thing that Pervasive's allowed us to do some of this data validation and really increase, just make our overall QA much more robust. Even when we're working with the consulting team and we're beating them up on a daily basis because we had that aggressive timeline, I mean, everybody was super professional, and they were able to turn things around and flexible on kind of all of our demands. Got everything up in 6 weeks, and I think one of the great things, a great story a year later, is we cut implementations in half. So now we've accelerated our cash flow within our company. We've almost doubled in size, and I haven't had to hire anybody else for that too. So that's pretty huge. Our client satisfaction's improved tremendously. I mean, when you, just considering, say, a year and a half ago, if it took us 5 to 6 months to get up, which a lot of the excitement and chills around even bringing our system in have kind of cooled a little bit in 5 to 6 months, no matter how great your product is. Now we're able to cut that in half, get them up on the system faster, but also they're seeing that the data set we're giving them is really clean. So, the APH system now through Pervasive has become a system of source for our clients. One of the things that I've talked about before is the ease of using the Pervasive solution. You don't need a highly technical programmer or SQL database person. You can bring somebody in that has at least a good core technical foundation, also has some of the business skills that you're going to want later on when you're trying to organically grow services and products, and get them up and running in pretty much no time flat. So one of the things just within the last 6 months we've been able to do is now handle workers' comp data coming in. We're able to produce reports back to our clients now that will actually go out and look for double dipping between your medical claims and your workers' comp claims. And of course the big thing is fraud. So that's been just one thing that's a value add for our clients that we've been able to do, and I'm not sure if we'd have been able to do it if I had just a hardcore programming ETL person there as opposed to having a technology business person. Well, it's nice when you have a business partner as opposed to a application reseller. You know what I mean? One place they're selling you, here's our software, we built it, just use it. Another is we want to be your partner, and they're helping you make your business better. Huge difference. And when you deal with people like that, it makes you want to do more for them, and just really kind of appreciate the whole corporate culture, I think. Yeah, can you tell I like you guys? So